In this video, we're going to take a quick look at the turtle and how it can utilize this branching concept that we've just been working with. So what we have here is a program, and I've got some commented out lines here because these are going to change the logic that goes through. Now, when we're drawing, it doesn't make a lot of sense to do branching because we're controlling everything. If we'd written a program where maybe the user was able to control where the turtle went, it would make more sense to have branching. So think of this as more of a demonstration of what would be possible. Because obviously if you fully control the turtle, you probably don't need to do too much branching because you should know what's going on. So in this case, we'll see we're just going to be moving forward. And the first check we're going to do is we're going to check if the pen is down. And there's a bunch of these is functions in the turtle library and in Python in general. It's a good way of sort of cluing in the user that you're going to return a Boolean. So is down, for example, is going to check if the pen is down. So in this case, if the pen's down, we're going to bring the pen up, we're going to jump over to a new location, and then regardless, we're going to put the pen down. That way, even if we put the pen up here, it'll be back down in time to draw. Then we're going to move forward, and we're just putting little dots so we know where we're at in the code. And then we're going to make a second check. This check is going to check what the pen color is. If the pen color is black, it's going to switch it to red. Otherwise, we're going to switch back to black. So let's let this run and see what happens. So we're going to run, and sure enough, we can see the first chunk here, we moved forward. Then we checked if we're down. Yep, we're down. So we moved our pen up, and we leapt over here to this new location. And we moved forward. And then we said, is my pen color black? Yep. So then we switched it to red for the final leg. So let's see if we uncomment one of these lines out, what happens. So let's uncomment out here this pen up. So in this case, we should not do this jump anymore. So we should continue on from here. So let's see if that's true. So sure enough, this time we just continued on, and we're still red here at the end. So let's switch this. So now we should have orange for this next draw, and then hopefully we switch back to black for the final chunk. So let's look at this one. And sure enough, there's our orange piece, and then we switched back to black for the last piece because that's what we're telling it to do in here. So with the turtle, there's nothing special about it. You just need to know what type am I returning. And that gets to the one other thing we sort of should pay attention to here, which is what is the type of an is down? We know it's returning true or false because the if statement's happy with that, but what's it actually look like? So if we look over here, it's a special type called bool. If we look at this code here, I'm printing out what the actual value is, but then also what the type of the value is. And we can see that the value is true. In fact, bool or Boolean type of variables can only either be true or false. And make sure you do pay attention to the capital T or the capital F for true and false, because those are what the values actually are. So Boolean variables can just only have true or false, and then they can be fed right into if statements, which is pretty nice. Certain things like integers can sometimes also be fed into if statements, but it's generally better to check for them using an equality like this. It'll just save you from some headaches and some mistakes by making sure you always are pretty explicit in what your checks happen to be. So that's it. There's nothing really special about the turtle. As I said, to actually utilize branching effectively, you probably need like user input or something like that, where you're going to not know where the turtle is or not know what the turtle state is, and then want to do things based on what the actual state of the turtle happens to be. Okay, that's really it for branching. So next up, we'll talk about looping a little bit.